Okay. Hope you're right, guys. Let's begin. Almost participants. Okay, right. So I would like to share one quote today, right? So I wish to share this one. See the good in others, they will see good in you, right? So be positive, right? Always think in a happy manner, right? With a good interaction with others, right? So be happy, be a good, right? So what is Photoshop, right? So Photoshop in the sense, Photoshop வந்து நாங்க இங்க சொல்றது ஒரு கிராஃபிக்கல், அதாவது நாங்கள் டிராயிங்கா இருக்கலாம், ஏதாவது இமேஜ் ஒர்க்கா இருக்கலாம், வாட் எவர் திங்ஸ் நாங்கள் அப்படியான மேனிப்புலேஷன் ஒர்க்ஸ், அதாவது கிராஃபிக்ஸை நாங்க மேற்கொண்டு செய்யறதுக்காக இதை பாய்ப்போம், ரைட்? ஸோ here the Photoshop is the key software in the whole world, right? They can use the software to manipulate the images and as well as the drawings. When we are creating the animation movies, they should grow, right? So they used to use this software and they make characters in a graphical view, and also researchers, they are using this Photoshop to create their graphical presentation for the research outcomes, right? So more or less that Photoshop is it's a key software for graphical approaches, right? So it's released by Adobe, right? The company have lots of softwares, right? It's around 50 softwares, right? One of the major software, this one popular software is this one Photoshop, and other Premiere and Illustrator, those kind of softwares are popular in this way, right? So today let's we say why Photoshop needed, right? Photoshop is a quicker way, right? Time saving, and also numerous possibilities are there. We can make it whatever things we think, right? So when you have an idea in your mind, then you can definitely go for a Photoshop, then you can definitely make a that such of kind drawing works or whatever graphical things, right? And also advanced editing is over here, right? So you can use the advanced option. Actually today is a beginner level, right? So as a beginner, right, you don't have any knowledge about what Photoshop, you just listen this, right? Today I'm starting with the basic, that fundamental of things, right? And also added features, and Photoshop have the third-party softwares to add it into the software, so we can add add-ons, right? So you heard about the add-ons, same as things, so we can add those things into the Photoshop for the added features, right? And also we can easy to export as well. And one more thing I would like to say, that Photoshop, because applications are over there, right? Especially layouts and leaflets and advertising banners, right? Almost you all always see any advertising that banners, it's always looking somewhat colorful and informative and clean work, right? So and another more thing, graphical for web, right? So website, in the sense website, you may see a lot of things in the website in as a graphical view, right? So at the top, right, top banner, it's going to be made as a graphical software, that is Photoshop, right? And also navigations, right? Navigations in the sense video segmenting, right? We can make video into images with this software, right? If you have a small video, then then you need to take each and every frames for you, then you can just come into the Photoshop, and then you can make it as segments, and then you can make it as a even animation, those kind of works you can do it with the Photoshop, right? So guys, I hope you all hear my voice, and if you have any doubts, so somebody it's not clear, just raise your hand. So type in the chat box, and also you just type in your email addresses into the chat box, right? I will share all the documents in later after this workshop, right? So please note it your email address. Past workshop I had an experience, some email address are not working. I have got a reply from the no reply that system, right? They said that address is not found, right? So better you just type your address and then recheck it and send it to me, right? Okay. So நாங்கள் இதுல பாக்குற போட்டோஷாப் என்றது என்னன்றது பேசிக் திங்ஸ் பற்றி பாக்குறோம். இதுவரைக்கும் போட்டோஷாப் என்றா என்னன்னே தெரியாதவர்களுக்காக நான் இதை சொல்லியிருக்கேன், ரைட்? ஸோ நீங்க இந்த நோட்ஸ்ல சும்மா போகலாம். நீங்கள் பாத்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னா போட்டோஷாப் வந்து இமேஜ் ஓரியன்டட், அதாவது இமேஜ் சம்பந்தமா ஒர்க் பண்றதுக்கு பாவிக்கிற ஒன்று தான். இது இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன் தான். நான் மேற்கொண்டு டீடைலா கீழே உங்களுக்கு சொல்லிதான், ரைட்? ரைட், பாருங்க. So just see the poster presentation is here, right? So poster presentation always it's a informative one. So we have to place the each and every images in a appropriate way, right? So here you can see that presenter have clear idea about that each points, each segments, and then he arrange the images and place it nicely, right? And also here this side you can see this is a leaflet or book cover, right? So book cover may be like this. So leaflets most probably both are quite same, right? And you can see the designs that is it's look like official design, so informative designs, or else graphical designs also available, right? So see here that a graphical design. So advertisements, they wish to create like graphical designs, right? You can see this image. And also manipulation, right? Manipulation, you can manipulate your images with the background images, so foreground images, whatever things, you can manipulate your image with the other natural events, right? So if you have fire, then you can make it as a within your hand, right? So that's kind of things you can do with the Photoshop, right? So this is the major activities we can do easily in Photoshop, right? Also you can see there's a selective color corrections, right? So you can change the colors and make the patterns, additional actor patterns, and also you can make these effects, right? Like 3D effects, so 3D draft effect, and also you can make as animations, right? It should blink, but I don't know whether it's blink or not. It is not working, but I'm teaching on PDF, right? So it may not work, right? So and here this is a morphing, right? Morphing in the sense we can change the body and face differently, or else we can change the additional aspects to the images, right? So whatever things we can easily fix it and retouch it, right? The key term is retouch, right? In the Photoshop we can retouch all the things and make it perfect view and perfect clear in the edges, right? So இப்படியான டிசைன்ஸ் வந்து நாங்கள் செய்து கொள்ள முடியும் போட்டோஷாப்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னா ஜஸ்ட் கலர் கரெக்ஷன் செய்யறதா இருந்தானே 3D டிசைன்கள் செய்யறதா இருந்தானே எல்லாம் ஈஸியா செய்து கொள்ளையிலும் எல்லாமே செலெக்ஷன் என்ற ஒரு ரேஞ்சில இருந்து வரும், ரைட்? ஸோ அண்ட் ஆல்சோ இப்படியான மார்பிங் என்று சொல்ற இந்த வேலைப்பாடெல்லாம் இப்ப நாங்க ஒரு மேல் ஃபீமேல் ரெண்டு ஃபேஸ் வந்து டல்லா இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொன்னா கொஞ்சம் என்ஹான்ஸ் பண்ணணும், அப்படியான ரீடச் ஒர்க்ஸ் வந்து நாங்க செய்யறது இந்த போட்டோஷாப்ல தான், ரைட்? ஓகே. So everyone had a problem like this. I hope I send you a link with the downloading link, with that Photoshop downloading link. That one it's quite big version, right? Quite big version in the sense that is it's about 2 GB or 2.3 GB almost, right? So it should work some good computers, good configured computers. So if you have a computer with this kind of minimum requirements, then only that software will work, right? So problem with the software, that graphical usage, right? The key points, right? First one, you have the computer with, for the later version, right? Latest version like Photoshop CC, Creative Cloud, that version you need this one. Processor is higher than 2 GHz, right? I hope you all nowadays you all have higher than the dual core, right? So that is not a big issue, right? If you have i3, then it's more than enough. And also operating system, nowadays both operating system available at Windows 7 and Windows 10. So you better you can use the Windows 10, but you can work with the Windows 7 too, right? That's not a big issue. And the problem is this one, RAM, right? So RAM, better you have 4 GB RAM, right? So I hope you have, if you have Windows 7 PC, that's quite with the 4 GB RAM. So it's not enough for the Photoshop CC. Otherwise, you can go with the Photoshop CS3, that is previous versions, right? So if it is, if you have the lowest configuration computers, then you can download the softwares that I send that link now, that Get Into VC. That link has lot of updaters and updates and previous versions too. So just search it, Photoshop CS3, and then you can download it and install it for that, right? If you have 4 GB RAM. If you have 8 GB, then no harm, right? You can just use this software, that CC1, 2020 or 21, whatever things you can use. And also one more thing, that graphic cards, right? I don't know, more of you, you don't know things, right? So better you just go through your computer and then you can check it, right? So before, right, for a checking purpose, you just go to the Windows. That I will show you how to find out that, right? So better you just note it down, this one. You just type it as DXDIAG, right? So in the Windows computer, you can type it as DXDIAG, right? So when you hit enter, it will show the detail of computer, all the things. It's not like that when you right click on the computer and see the properties, right? It's not like that. It is giving all the details of your computer, right? So you can search it, all the things, right? DXDIAG, right? Okay. So here you can see this is the operating system I have, and also this is the processor I have, right? So better you have to check your processor and your versions, right? And also you can go with that memory here, right? So memory, it's now it's 8,000 like that. If it is 8,000 MB, then it's going to be a 8 GB, right? So better other one is 4 GB. If it is 4 GB, it's more or less 4,000 like that, right? And second thing is graphical card, right? So graphical card, I have graphical card with this computer with the 4 GB graphical card additional, right? You just check it, this one, whether you have or not. That is not a big issue, but it should, if you have, right? If you have this graphical card, it should enable this direct 3D acceleration, right? If you don't have, right, if you don't have enable it, this one, you just type it in the check it, and then you can have this options here enable. You just see it the direct draw acceleration enable, right? So that is give a more performance to you, right? Okay, then so you can see this one is an additional graphic card I am placing in my computer, right? This is an additional. This one most probably the computers have this one Intel graphic card, and this one is additional one, right? Now is common thing is NVIDIA GeForce. Now I have used 930 MX, 600 and 700, 800, those kind of things are available. So guys, it's needed. You just go through the DX and DIAG and check these things, right? before you installing, or after installing, that is not a matter, you just go to. Otherwise, and Windows 7 users, right? Windows 7 users, you just go to the properties, like when you have the computer, right? You just go to the computer and properties, and you will note it down, right? In the Windows 7, right? In the Windows 7, there is a one index over there in this region. This is not a Windows 7. This Windows 10. If you have Windows 7, you have that is one symbol. It says index. You just hit the index and rate your PC, right? Rate your PC. Then you can see the rating amount. That's let's say 1.0 or 2.0, whatever thing it shows, right? You just rate your computer, and then it will rate and show you, right? So Windows 7 have that setup, right? So you just check these things, okay? Right. Okay, guys. So then I will go with the next thing, right? And also that hard disk, right? Hard disk, it should have somewhat space in your C drive, right? Always we kept some space, no? So better you have a good space. And also monitor is very important. Like if you have a desktop PC, that monitor is good graphical view, right? If you have a CRT monitor, that's not a good when we compare with the LED, right? So nowadays it's CRT comes to LCD, and LCD come to now LED. LED nowadays it's come to quad LED like that, right? So newer version, it's better look and better clear color view, right? So you can easily fix the colors and easily accurate the colors, and with the satisfaction with your mind, right? So you can easy to connect with the colors with the high resolution monitors, right? So if you are graphic designer, if your idea and your works is going to be related to the graphical view, then surely you have to go with the high resolution monitors, right? So I will talk about those things in later, right? Let's go to the right. So so this is the Photoshop, guys, right? So Photoshop user interface, it's look like, right? So Photoshop 2020 and 21 more or less same, right? So this user interface you should clear with that, right? So almost top bar is menu bar, right? So that is all the menus are there, right? In the previous versions, you may see the title bar also, right? Now they reduce, right? So they use the space for a menu bar as well with a title bar, and also that second bar is action bar. Action bar normally when we are changing the tools, it will automatically change, right? So this action bar depends on the tools, right? And third thing is tab, right? When you are opening this images, it's going to be act as a tabs, right? So second image, if you open the second image, that will become this region, and third image this region, right? So likewise tabs will open, right? In the image நான் உங்களுக்கு சொல்லி கொண்டு போற விதம் ஓகே அதுக்கு தானே அரக்காஜம் விளங்கியல கிளியர் இல்லை என்று சொன்னா just type in the side box, so raise your hands, right? இது நான் இடையிடையில chat box ஐயும் செக் பண்ணி கொள்றேன். I just check your chat box also. If you have any doubts or not clear things, you just type it, guys. Otherwise you miss the detail of that particular doubt, right? Okay, so next thing is color plate, right? Color plate பாத்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னா color plateல colors, you just pick the colors, right? When you adjusting the sliders, right? This is the slider, color slider. You can move this slide, right? I will show later in the software. So you can move the slider, and then you can pick the colors in the color plate, right? And also this is the history window, right? You can just change the history by like undo, right? When you are hitting undo, that's also look like these things, right? So this one have each segment of your work. So when you click on that work, that last work, it's come to that that as a undo, right? And also this one layer panel, right? Layer panel, it's always much needed one, right? So I will explain those layer panel in later, right? So layer panel is here, and also the tools box is here, right? And this one, guys, called as workspace, right? So when you have your image, that's covers this region, right? So workspace is the key area you are going to work, right? So Photoshop can give, right, much more workspace than this, right? So when you are having software here, right, if you are familiar with those things that Photoshop clearly, then you can work with the Photoshop without these docs, right? I used to work without these docs because I can work this maybe in interruption to my work. So I mostly work with the full screen mode, right? I will show you how it works, right? So if you familiarize all the things, then you can go with the shortcuts works and also some key points. If you want to any other things, then just hit Alt and then you can get it easy, right? So you can work it full screen mode without any options surrounding you, right? One that is a one key feature in the Photoshop. And another thing is these are the importance you should know, right? As a beginner, you just know these things, right? Size and resolution, right? Clearly see these guys, right? The image resolution, right? Image resolution always claimed as PPI, right? Pixels per inches, right? And this quantity, it's much needed to your clarity of your image, right? So when you have an image that should not have clear, right? That means the resolution of that picture is very low, right? So you may think, right, when we are taking a photo from the camera, that is DSLR camera, the bigger cameras, rather than our phone, it's comparatively, it's not a higher resolution, right? So because when you are zoom it in, right? So when you compare in both camera photo and phone photo, when you zoom it in, right, the phone photo surely going to be break it, right? It's easily you miss the features of that, right? But camera photos, you can see the features of each points, right? When you zoom it, right, you may check the details of that image, right? So resolutions depends on the detail of image, right? So if you have higher resolution, then that photo is high quality image. If you have lower resolution, that is going to be a low quality image, right? Nowadays you are all familiar with that phone camera specification. Always camera specification, they should mention as 15 MP, 5 MP, 50 MP, 40 MP, like that, no? So that term, it's undergoes to the resolution, right? So just I give an example for that. So what is 920 and 1080 resolution, right? So it means, right, it means that 16 into 9 aspect ratio, right? In this ratio should know, right? When you are working on the PowerPoint, you may see the 4:3 and 16:9, it's there, right? And also when you are handling with the multimedia projector, that also have the same things, right? So this resolution matter is a key point in the visualization of your image, right? So this means, right, in the pixels range, this size is a pixels range. What is the pixels range? Pixel means the lowest range of measurement in photo, right? So we can measure photos by centimeters or millimeters, right? We always measure the length of the paper with the millimeter, right? Less than the millimeter, the the low value is there for the photos, that is called as pixels, right? That's why your phone cameras are says MP, megapixels, right? So that mega it means it's 10 to the powers, right? So mega, and pixels means that is the basic quality, basic quantity, right? Measurement quantity, right? So here you can see the 100 pixels. Always, guys, when you having the photos on your mobile or whatever things, right? It's definitely have the 300 pixels, right? So when you are working on the Photoshop, right? நீங்க work பண்ணும்போது Photoshopல கட்டாயம் 300 pixelsல தான் work பண்ண வேணும், right? சின்ன போட்டோக்குள்ள இருந்தா, let's say நீங்க ஒரு frame ஒன்று டிசைன் பண்ண போறீங்கன்னு சொன்னா கட்டாயம் 300 pixelsக்குரிய framework நீங்க DPI கொடுக்க வேணும், right? ஏன்னு சொன்னா நாங்கள் ஜெனரலா பாவிக்கிற போட்டோஸ் எடுக்கிற போட்டோஸ் வந்து 4R ன்னு சொல்லுவோம், right? 4க்கு 6, right? 4 into 6. That photo, right? That photo you can just print out from the printers, right? So that printers should receive the signals, that data, that photo should have higher resolution. That means 300, right? When you give your photo to the printers, right? Printers in the sense that photo studio printers, right? So when you give to them, they just move to the Photoshop and check it whether that going to be enough pixels, right? If you bring your photos which are taken your phone, then they may not accept it, right? Usually they what they are doing is they just plug into the Photoshop and then they change the resolution to 300 and then they will accept, right? So someone's they don't know, no, right? If my phone is how many pixels is, right? How many resolution is this, right? You just before printing, right? Before getting your photo to printers, right? You just go to the photo and plug into the photo into the Photoshop, and then you just check with the image pixels, right? That resolution, right? Okay. So ஏன் எங்களுக்கு இதெல்லாம் தெரியணும்னு சொன்னா, right? ஸ்ரீலங்காண்ட பாஸ்போர்ட் சைஸ் என்று சொன்னீங்கன்னா அது பர்டிகுலரா ஒரு சைஸ் இருக்கு, right? 35 by 45 mm, right? So ஸ்ரீலங்கன் பாஸ்போர்ட் ஆபீஸ்ல அவங்க ஒபிஷியல் வெப்சைட்ல வந்து போட்டிருக்கு, இதுதான் சைஸ், இந்த சைஸின் படி இப்படிதான் எடுக்கணும், right? So in past days more we got photos for the passport and other visa application, those things kind of photos. We just get a photo from the photographer, and then photographer he cut the size and make it with the Photoshop, and then he print out and give it us, right? Normally in past days, but nowadays that passport office, that official office, they instruct to some camera studios, right? They have a official website for that, for this uploading the photo. So they just give us, and they take the photo and then cropped it, and they sent this size, right? So you can see the key terms are there, right? The key terms, the head should be this size, right? So head should be in the 70% of your image, right? So that is the 70 to 80%, right? So that is a important feature on your photo, right? So if you have any scholarship or whatever application you are going to apply, right? That application requires, right, 35 into 45 mm photo, but that is passport size photo. You have to upload it, right? So if you don't have the passport size photo, you just have the photo, and then you can make it as like this, right? With the Photoshop, right? You just go to the Photoshop and then corrupt it with this size, and then you can check it whether it is going to be 70% of your head or less than that. If it is less than that, they going to surely reject your photo, right? So better you just check that with the Photoshop, right? Now you learn, guys, right, these things, so you can do with your own, right? And also Zoom invitation page, right? Now more or less nowadays everyone's using Zoom for the education, right, teaching. So guys, you can use this Photoshop to make the Zoom banners, right? When you have an invitation link, right? My previous workshop also, I give a invitation links. That invitation links have this banner, right? So for Zoom account, Zoom, when you are may schedule a meeting in the Zoom, right? They surely ask if you have the banner, then you can add the banner as the top of the invitation, right? So top of the invitation, they have a requirements, right? What's the requirements, guys? It's named as pixels, right? Now you are familiarized these things, right? Pixel, PX means pixels, right? So these pixels, right? It's needed 640 pixel to 200 pixels. So when you are preparing your poster, right? I just prepare the poster in A4 size, right? This one in A4 size. Then I change this poster to this size, right? But this size, right? They say 640 by 200. So 640 is the length, 200 is a height, right? And also they have a format for that, right? Format, as you all know, JPG, right? JPG and format right? PNG format and right? So PNG format is a one important format, right? So when you have the images that is backgroundless, right? If you don't have the background with that image, that is called as PNG, right? Portable one, right? And also this one, JPG, is a commonly known as photo files, and this is the GIF file, right? GIF file commonly be it's going to be a animation file, right? So these file formats are called as extensions, right? Extension, you may heard about these words, right? So extension, each software have the extension, right? If say Word document have the extension like .doc, right? Nowadays the new versions have docx, right? If it is Excel, XLXS, right? And PowerPoint, normally guys, you can talk with the PPT, right? So PPT means PowerPoint presentation. PowerPoint presentation, it's a PPT is an extension code that surely at the back of the file, right? So that that file can identify which type of that file, right? Let's say JPG file, it's a image. GIF file, it's a animation file, right? So these extensions will show you what the file is, right? What type of file is, right? And then the maximum, right? The Zoom active invitation page says maximum you can hit this pixels. So you can make it as a maximum and minimum also, right? Whatever things you can make it and place it in the Zoom invitation page, right? Right. I just got email address only. If you have any doubts, just post it into the chat box, right? Okay. So these are that's very beginning things, right? Okay. So guys, these are the key features that ABC, right? 3 points you should clearly understand, right? One is opacity and transparency, and feathering and layers, right? So opacity, what does mean the opacity? Opacity, it's a tinting word, right? So you just underlaying the layers. Before going this, right, you can learn about these layers, right? What is the layers means, right? It's like a sheets, right? So if you have a drawing book, right? Drawing book that have a drawing sheets, right? That means the Photoshop layers, right? So if you have drawing book இருக்குன்னு சொன்னா bookல இருக்கிற ஒவ்வொரு ஷீட்டுமே layers ன்னு சொல்லுவோம், right? அப்ப Photoshopல பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் ஒரு ஃபைல் என்றது ஒவ்வொரு புத்தகம் மாதிரி, right? So when you are saving a document in the PST file, that is called as a book, right? Drawing book, right? So drawing book has several pages in the sense several layers. So those layers can varies in size, right? So these are the layers, right? You can see this one is a white color layer, it's top back, right? And also this one, it's upper one, right? And you can compare to the size of these, that second and third, right? You can see the first one is, sorry, the second one is bigger and so third one is smaller one, right? And you may see that topmost one, it's smaller than all others, right? So we can place the sheets, right? Different size of sheets in the one book, right? You just got the clear idea, guys. This one is very important because layer management is the key work in the Photoshop, right? So if you have a clear idea about the handling of these layers, and then definitely you can deal with the Photoshop in a very easy way, right? And then we come back to the opacity, right? Opacity, it's a sense, right? You can connect to the first layer and second layer by tinting the color depth in the first layer, right? So you can see the background layer is, right? Background layer of this image, it's a aerial view of buildings, right? So in that photo, I just plug into the this lady photo, and then I reduce the opacity, and then I fix as this, right? It's made good feel to say both images, right? So this is the opacity, guys. Opacity means we can opaque or transparent the image in between the two layers, right? So it's like a filter, right? So if you add the in the red color over the green color, if you check that reducing opacity, it's definitely change some color. It gives some color, right? So it's like a color sheets, like in the drawing book, right? As I said, right? And another thing, right? Feathering, right? Feathering is a, I will teach you all the things, right, in Photoshop. And before that, I just explain those things, right? Feathering is a soft edges, right? When you are selecting one object, right? Selecting one object, then you are going to move another background, right? It's going to be a sharp edge, right? Sharp edge. Sharp edge is not looking nice, right? So it may look like when you are cutting any like a knife, right? It's look like that, right? You are cutting with a knife edges. But in the photo, right, the edges, it's going to be a smooth edge. Then only that background with mingle with that photo, right? So always we have to cut with any kind of images with the feather cutting, right? So feather cutting is very important, right? So I will talk about those things, right? So some shortcuts also I put it here, right? That's it, guys. We will go to the software now, right? These shortcuts I will show you, and I will share the document as well, right? Okay, up to now, do you have any doubt? இதுவரைக்கும் டவுட் இருக்க மாதிரி யாராவது தமிழாக்களுக்கு கஷ்டமா இருக்கா நான் சொல்றது? உங்களுக்கு தமிழ்லயும் சொல்றேன் தான். உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது முக்கியமான விஷயம் வந்து வரைக்கும் நான் தமிழ்லயும் சொல்லுவேன். மற்றபடி உங்களுக்கு ஓகே அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணக்கூடிய மாதிரி இருக்க மாட்டேன் நம்புறேன். Right? Okay. If you have any problem, just type in the chat box. It's clear. Right. Okay. Thank you. Right. Go ahead. So நீங்க பாருங்க, நீங்க சாஃப்ட்வேர் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஓபன் பண்ணீங்கடா இப்படி தான் உங்களுக்கு வந்திருக்கும், ரைட்? ஸோ நீங்க இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணி சாஃப்ட்வேர் ஓபன் பண்ணீங்கன்னா வெல்கம் டு ஃபோட்டோஷாப் வந்து இப்படி வந்திருக்கும். நீங்க செய்த பாஸ்ட் ஒர்க்ஸ் வந்து இதுல காட்டிக்கொண்டு, ரைட்? ஸோ if you want to open a photo, you just hit it as open, or else you can create new, right? Create new page. So I just go to the create new. So when you click the create new, right, you will see a new document window, this one, right? The new document window, it says, right, you can see the preset sizes, right? Already in a size வந்து செய்யப்பட்டும் இருக்கும், right? அப்ப நாங்க அந்த sizes கூட கொடுக்கலாம், அல்லது எங்களுக்கு இந்த size தான் வேணும்னா அந்த size நீங்க கொடுத்துக்கொள்ளலாம், right? So நான் இப்ப போட்டோன்றதை பார்த்தேன்னு சொன்னா, right, photo, just hit it in the photo, right? Photo click பண்ணீங்கன்னு சொன்னா பாத்தீங்கன்னா நான் அப்போ சொன்ன சைஸ் இருக்கு 4R. இதுதான் ஜெனரலா நாங்க போட்டோ எடுத்து ஆல்பத்துல போட்டு வைப்போமே, ரைட்? அந்த சைஸ் வந்து இந்த லேண்ட்ஸ்கேப் 4R, ரைட்? இது லேண்ட்ஸ்கேப் இருக்கிற மாதிரி போர்ட்ரைட்டும் இருக்கு. லேண்ட்ஸ்கேப் போர்ட்ரைட்ன்றது ஜஸ்ட் சைஸ். நீங்க லேண்ட்ஸ்கேப் சொல்றது லென்த் வந்து கூடவா இருக்கும், ஹைட் வந்து குறைவா இருக்கும். இது லேண்ட்ஸ்கேப். இதே ஹைட் வந்து கூடவா இருந்துச்சுன்னா போர்ட்ரைட். நீங்க ரெண்டு எடுக்கிற போட்டோன்னு சொன்னா, அதாவது ஃபுல் போட்டோன்றது போர்ட்ரைட் போட்டோ, இதே நீங்க ஹாஃப் போட்டோ எடுத்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னா அது இப்போ landscape photo, right? Okay, so just என்ன சைஸ் உங்களுக்கு தேவையோ அந்த சைஸை நீங்க இங்க கிளிக் பண்ணாலே போதும், இங்கால மாறிடும், ரைட்? இது CS3 ல இருந்தானே, CS2 ல இருந்தானே, CC ல இருந்தானே எல்லாமே கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒன்றுதான், ரைட்? இதே பேசிக்கான திங்ஸ் தான் அங்கேயும் இருக்கும், ஆனா வேற ஒரு வியூல வேற பேட்டர்ன்ல இருக்கு, ரைட்? So it's more or less same guys, all the versions, but some key features they added, right? So, and although you can also you can see that orientation now I keep it as a landscape one, but if you want to take it as a portrait, you just click it here, it's going to be changed as a portrait one, right? You can check here, the height is going to be higher than width, right? So it's definitely it's a portrait one. And also you can see this resolution I talked about all the things in clear in previous slides, right? So if you have a doubt on that, you just go through that slides, and if you still have any problem, you just email me. I will give a better explains for that via email, right? Okay, so here you can see the resolution type, right? Resolution type, always we are dealing with the PPI, right? Pixels per inches, right? If you want to change the pixels per centimeter, then you can definitely change, right? So as a beginner, you should know what are the things are there, right? So then only you can go or change the things over there, right? So you just nowadays you don't feel any fear on the Photoshop, right? Now almost right, 45 minutes is over, right? So now you learn a lot of things in Photoshop. So now you better clear with the fearing matters, right? So don't worry about that Photoshop these things, right? So you just hit on the size what you want, right? If it is landscape or portrait, you just hit it, and then you can go check the resolution, and then you can take create. Or else you can check this color mode also, right? Color mode is in the sense what color you are going to use, right? So generally we are using as a RGB one, right? RGB is a full color one, right? And also another color type is there, CMYK, right? That is 4 color, right? Always you may heard about, right? When you are going to print leaflets on the printers, right? They may say we have the 4 color printers. So better you are preparing your leaflets in 4 color, right? So if you have nowadays it's going to be 6 color printers, right? Nowadays it's a new printers have 6 color, right? So 6 color in the sense, right? You can see this one, C means cyan, and M means magenta, Y means yellow, and K means black. Right? Yeah. So this color code is, you can make it as a leaflets patterns, right? Otherwise, if you are making so this principle, why this principle is needed, right? When you are preparing the leaflet, for the leaflet in the sense that advertising leaflet, right? So that's going to be a huge number, right? it's about 5,000 copies or 10,000 copies likewise, right? So that much of copies can't print in the usual printers in the sense laser printers or inkjet printers, right? Normally they are going to be a bigger printers they used to prepare, right? So for printing these kind of things, let's say newspaper, right? When you are preparing newspaper, they surely doing with this kind of color code, right? So they surely change to this CMYK because guys, they are printing each color at once, right? You may see some papers, most of the colors are there, right? It's look like a green and like yellow, magenta also. It's in unaligned format in the newspapers. You may see, right? That is, it's an error in the printing, right? Printing. So when you are taking the printing, they are printing each color at a time, right? So once they print the cyan, and then they get all the things, and then they print the magenta, right? Like that, they are going to print again and again, and then they fulfill the colors like this, right? So when they are going to print the newspaper, then only they need these such of things, right? So now you are going to show those things, right? So if it is banner printing, then banner printing, it's no issues with that because banner printings nowadays is updated and they have 6 color one, right? 6 color one means that cyan it's going to be light cyan also, right? And magenta is going to be light one, right? So that is additional 2 colors, right? But 6 colors and 4 colors, it's quite same, but 6 color is quite clear and look nice, right? So when you are preparing the posters and printing things, right? Printing things in a paper, then only you can choose this CMYK, right? If you have a banner printing or that photo printing, then you can go with the RGB one, right? It's good, gives you a better color configuration, right? So whatever things, guys, when you are preparing RGB, then you will give them, right? They will convert it into the CMYK, right? So problem is here, when we are seeing in the RGB, it's good, nice, it looks nice, right? When they are going to convert and print it in the CMYK, that's may got worse, right? So RGB la naanga design பண்ணி போட்டு அவங்கள்ட்ட கொண்டு கொடுக்கும்போது அவங்க வந்து CMYK ல தான் பிரிண்ட் எடுப்பாங்க. ஏன்னா பிரிண்டர் வந்து CMYK ல தான் இருக்கு. அப்ப CMYK ல அவங்க பிரிண்ட் எடுத்துட்டாங்கன்னு சொன்னா அந்த பிரிண்ட் வந்து எங்களுக்கு சாட்டிஸ்ஃபைடா இருக்காது, ரைட்? அப்ப அந்த 4 கலர் 6 கலர்ன்றதுல ப்ராப்ளம் வந்தது அதுதான். ஸோ அதனால நாங்க என்ன செய்வோம்னா நாங்க டிசைன் பண்ணும்போதே CMYK ல தான் டிசைன் பண்றோம், ரைட்? ஸோ வென் யூ ஆர் டிசைனிங் தீஸ் திங்ஸ், right, at the beginning you just hit the CMYK and then going to create and design, right? It's not a good satisfaction view, right? So you just go to the color enhancement and those kind of works, you have to add it more and more, right? Then only you get a good color pattern, right? Good color can be difference with it, right, between those elements, right? So if you having a better feel in the CMYK color, then it surely print out is going to be a fantastic one, right? So when you're preparing the RGB one, don't rely on the RGB when you are printing with this 4 color printing, right? Okay, so you got better understanding, I hope. And important things I just mentioned here, that is grayscale always working with the black and white photos, right? If you are going to deal with a black and white photo, definitely you can use the grayscale mode, right? Grayscale mode, it's easy to convert, right? So if you have a colored image, then just move it to the this document, it automatically converted to black and white, right? With a good configuration, right? Okay, so I now choose the RGB. And guys, don't worry about this bitrate, right? Always we are using the 8 bit rate. If you are going to higher bit rate, it's surely going to be your PC stuck down, right? So don't worry about this bitrate. Bitrate in the sense like a frame rate, right? In the video, I don't want to talk about that one, right? It make confuse you, right? You just go check these things, and you can select the background also, change the background, right? I will talk about the color picker later. Then if you want to change, you can change. Otherwise, normally we are going open this white background, right? Advanced options also there, right? As a beginner, you just go through these things. Advanced options we will learn later, right? And also for the printing purpose, right? If you have a document like that, you can go with the paper sizes, right? So A4 is there, a little legal and those things, A3 also is there, right? So you can just go through the paper size, and then you can make the document, and then you can get a printout, right? And also art and illustration like a posters, right? So you can see that width and height, it's going to be 1000 by 1000, right? It's going to be a pixel straight, right? So you can change the sizes whatever you want. You just go through the size, right? And also web size always shows in the px pixel size, and you can see the resolution, right? Resolution always in the website, it's low, right? 72, right? That's why, guys, when we are download any images from the website, right? When we move to the software, any software, it's definitely going to be a very smaller one, right? Because of this resolution. But some websites have low resolution, but they have a bigger size, right? Bigger size in the then they have 13,000, right? 13,000 like that. And also this one, it's about 7,000 like this. Like this, if that resolution is higher, size is lower, then okay. If it is size is higher, resolution is lower, that also fine, right? So when you are increasing the photo, surely that increasing the size of the photo, surely that resolution going to be low, right? Okay, guys, right? It may looks messy, right? Don't think about that theory things I am dealing with now, but you have better understanding of these basic things, right? Otherwise, you may get confused with those things. Otherwise, what for this, then you may got confused with those things. I picked as a landscape for R, and I make it as a portrait one, and I check this resolution 300, okay, and RGB white color, and then I'm going to create. Okay, now you can see the UI, right? User interface here, right? You can see there is a untitled one. I forgot to title the document, right? Okay, it says untitled one, and you got the portrait new document is here, right? Up to now, do you have any doubt, guys?
No, sir, no.
Right. So we will move. Right. So, so you can see these are the menu bars, right? Menus, lot of menus are there. I said no, Photoshop, it's a wide range of features over there, right? So just everywhere, right? Even help or Windows, all the things, even nowadays it's 3D, they enhanced, right? If you have a, I said that one, graphical card, right? Additional graphic card, if you have, then you can go with the 3D option as well, right? So lot of things are there, right? We will go through each and every one like this, right? First, we just go through the menu bar. This one, we talk about that. And also this one, action bar. When we, this is the toolbar, right? Toolbar, we can make it as a toolbar in double side view and also single side view, right? Both. And you can toggle also, right? You can just get down or get up, right? And also you can plug it again, right? You just place it in the strips here, right? Anywhere you can see there is a strips, you just plug in out, right? So these tools, when we change the tools, automatically it will change the option bar too, right? Action bar, it automatically change, right? And these are the tabs, right? Tabs you can unplug the image and you can move anywhere, and also you can refit it by placing here, right? Okay. No issues, guys. You just familiarize with the mouse and then you can easy to move here and there, right? I hope some are very excellent in PowerPoint, right? They are making their graphical works in PowerPoint, right? Like a Photoshop, right? But they don't know that is easier than that, easier than that for PowerPoint. That Photoshop is very easy, right? So beginning when you are starting the work, then definitely you will have a clear idea and interest on that Photoshop, right? Okay, right. So first tool, right? First tool. When I hit the first tool, it shows the action bars here, right? Right. We will see what are the important menus are there, menus and options, right? Right. As usual, guys, when you are going to the file menu, like MS Office and all softwares, right? All software la irukkiradhu pola dhaan in the file option name, inga pathina file option la poningana new open as well, right? So these are common things. And close option only for the tab, right? Ipo naan open பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கிற tab நான் close பண்றேன்னு சொன்னா close, right? அது நீங்க ஒரு tab name நீங்க close பண்ணலாம். எக்ஸிட் பண்ண போட்டோஷாப் எக்ஸிட் பண்றேன்னா நீங்க ஜெனரலா இப்ப க்ளோஸ் பட்டன்ல கிளிக் பண்ணுவீங்க. ஆனா இங்க ஷார்ட் கட் இருக்கு, நீங்க கண்ட்ரோலோட கியூ கொடுத்து விட்டீங்கனால இங்க எக்ஸிட் ஆயிடும், ரைட்? ஓகே. அண்ட் பிரிண்ட் ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் இருக்கு. Print option you can use, guys. Print option when you are going to print your document as a print view, better you are printing with the Photoshop, with the Photoshop files, right? So if you preparing any kind of works in the Photoshop, right? So better you print with the Photoshop, right? That gives you a better configuration of the printing, right? So normally when you give a printing to printers, right, for the purpose of printing, they are using the Photoshop and then they going to print it, right? Because Photoshop can easy to convert the colors, right? So if you export the image, right, you can see whether here the export, right? When you export a photo, that's surely going to be a restricted one, right? Some it's not a accurate color configuration, right? It's common configuration. So that photo, it can work any kind of printers, right? But when you are connecting the printers with this Photoshop, that surely connect the color configuration for that computer. So it gives more accurate color configuration for that printing, right? Okay. So these are the important things. And also that save as is here, right? When you hit it save as, then you can make it as a saving extension, right? As I said, the extension it's going to be a image one or animation or whatever things you can make it, right? Different extensions are there. Even PDF also you can make it, right, from the Photoshop. And also you can intake, right, get in the PDF file to Photoshop, right? Both way you can do, right? Vice versa. And second one, edit always have this undo redo things, right? And copy paste things, those kind of works. And also you can see the edit options. It's much more things are there in the Photoshop. It's preference, right? This is very important things, preference, right? You just go to the general, that preference, and then you can have the detail of Photoshop, all the things, right? You can adjust the things here, right? So as we talk about that, undo is there, right? Undo in Photoshop, it's there. So it's called as a history lock, right? So history lock and file handling, those kind of things are there, right? So you can make it as a export file, that quick export file as PNG or whatever things you need, you can change it. And also that units, right? Unit, if you have this unit, that ruler is here, right? That ruler have the millimeter scales. If you want to change the scale to inches or whatever things, you can make it, right? So this preference is the editor for your interface, user interface. You can whatever things you can change here, and then you can use your interface for you better way, right? And also see the scratches, right? Always we are dealing with the C drive mostly with that startup one. So we are dealing with the C drive, or else you are going to change the drive, you can change, right? But this changing it's make getting complicated view, because it may change the files and system files to that drive also, right? Something or not. Yeah. Sorry. The old drawing, right? Okay, and next things, guys, cursors, right? You can make a cursor also here, different cursors and brush tips and all the things. We will go through the tools and we will clear those, right? And unit I said, and guidelines, right? Guidelines, guys, when you are dealing with that higher elements, right? If you are preparing the posters, right? Then you may need some guidelines, right? Guidelines in the sense like center line or sidelines, like a margin, those kind of things you need, so that they are preparing these guidelines, and these have the particular colors, right? If you are not satisfying this color, then you can go with the different colors, you can change, right? So these kind of things are here, right? I just finish it here. Other things you can go, right? You can just go and read about that. And one more thing is there in here, keyboard shortcuts, right? You can find out and learn it in the keyboard shortcuts in the Photoshop itself, right? You just hit it and then you can find all the things in here. You just toggle off, and then you can make it as shortcuts, or else you can already it's here. Undo is here, Control plus set, redo is here, and Shift plus Control plus set. If you want to change, right? If you want to change, you can just change it as 5. Right now, this change is already. If it is already available, right? That Shift plus Y is already available for one shortcut, right? So that's not going to be allowed, right? So these are the minimum requirements, guys. Maximum they utilize all the shortcuts, right? So I don't want to talk about much more on this. We will move further, right? Edit menu, these are the important things, right? And another type, it's very important, guys, it is image menu, right? Image menu have a mode. I said mode, that no CMYK and grayscale, those things. This one is a later when we are preparing the new document. If we meet to make any changes on that, we can make it as later also, right? You can make it as a CMYK here, right? And also you can change the adjustment, right? Adjustment, I will tell you guys these adjustments things, right? Adjustments, right? These all the things, right? And here that image rotation, right? Image rotation is here. Accidentally I opened this document as port drive. I want to change it as a landscape, right? For that you just hit it as a clockwise rotation, right? So it gives us a landscape one, right? So you can change it as these things, right? And you can make it as a duplicate one, right? Duplicate layer, and as well as the calculations, right? So these kind of things you can do, right? And lot of things are ruler and count tools also there. You can just count the things what you have, and whatever so many things are there, right? I just go with the basic things, right? Layer, the important thing is another important thing, layer, right? When you create a layer, right, you just go the new option and then create new layer, right? So always we have lot of things, like lot of things in the menu bars, but we always use as a shortcuts, right? Not a direct way, right? When you are going to prepare create a new layer, then definitely we are going to use this shortcut, right? Shift plus Control plus Enter, right? Okay. So layer in the layer panel, right? You have new and duplicate as well, right? You can make it as a duplicate layer also, right? And also you can fill the layers and adjust the layers also, right? You can adjust the layer. It means you have the layer that is for particular for adjustments, right? I will show you how to work these things, right? And also these menus have the fundamental things, whatever wherever it says, right? So in Photoshop, this option, right? This option, it's available in another place also, right? So basically the menus have the basic things, all the basic things, right? But these kind of some options available on another place also. Let's say new layer is here, but new layer is here as well, right? You can see here plus icon is there, no? Right? That plus icon is for the new layer, right? So here, and another type is, right? Another type is select and type for the typing setup and select, and as well the filters. Filters, it's somewhat higher things you are going to study. So filter options also there. You can use these filters and you can make it the image looks better, right? And also 3D window, 3D also in the advanced issues, advanced learning, right? I will in later, guys, I will do for advanced things in each and every workshops, right? Now we are going to study in beginner stage and intermediate stages, and advanced stages I will do later, right? So if you are in a learners like beginners, you can just learn these things. If you are already learned these things, then you can go with the advanced one, right? Okay. So view option only for the viewing things, right? You can see that ruler is there, and guidelines also there, and proof setups and proof colors always, all the things are there, and zoom and zoom out, all the things, right? So these all are viewing, right? And finally we need that windows, right? Windows, you can see that color window is shows here, right? That's why it's the tick is on, and also color style, character styles, right? These character styles, and layers here, layers, and those kind of panels are there. If you want to that panel, you just hit it, and then that panel will come here, right? That windows come here, right? Okay. Or else you can reset your workspace, right? Reset your workspace, right? If it is going to be messy, right? If somebody is far and somebody is like this, right? If you have that scrambled one, right? If you have a scrambled one, you can just go and reset the default one, right? Just hit it default, right? If it is going to be painting one, it's going to be painting. If you're going to be essential default one, it's going to be a default one, right? So all the workspace are designed for the particular purposes, right? So better I reset the workspace. Right. Okay. So if you want to add any windows, you just go and add it, right? Add here, and you can plug in here too, right? Okay, guys. So I just go with the image opening. New document opening is fine. So next one is image open. So I just hit open, file and open, or else you can plus Control plus open. Right. So now you can see Now I just going to open this photo, right? Or else you can go select as a control plus control, then you can select multiple images too, right? நீங்கள் ஒரு image select பண்ணலாம் இல்ல நிறைய images select பண்ணலாம், whatever things நீங்க உங்களுக்கு தேவைக்கேற்ற மாதிரி open பண்ணிக்கொள்ளலாம், right? Just hit tab open. Right. So பாத்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னா நாங்க இப்போ ஒரு இமேஜ் வந்து ஓபன் பண்ணியாச்சு, ரைட்? ஓபன் பண்ண பிறகு பாத்தீங்கன்னா இப்படி இருந்தது, ரைட்? So I want to make it as a fit window, right? Fit window. For the fit window, right, guys, if you have the notebook, please note it these things, right? So when you press the control plus 0, right, control and 0, it's going to be fit the screen. Control plus 0 fit the screen, right? Now I fit with the screen. If you want to remove these things, remove these all controlling options, you just hit the F button, right? F key, right? Now it's removes some button, right? Again you press, right? Now you almost remove all the things, right? So Photoshop is free. Now it's free with the toolbar only, right? If you are going to remove the toolbar, you just press Control plus R, right? So now I am working with the Photoshop, but not viewing with the options, right? So I can work, if you have an idea about that keys, right, shortcut keys, then definitely you can work with the shortcut keys without any dots, right? If you want any dots, you just go your mouse pointer here, it shows this side, right? Then when you get out, it's hidden, right? And also this side, the toolbars will come, and also, and when you hit it, then it will going to hide, right? If you want anything back, right, if you want to go back, then hit again F key, right? So F key for the full screen, right? So shortcut, you just note it down, guys, in the notebook, right? If I missed when I send you by sharing document, if I missed, it may help to you, right? So again Control plus 0, then it's fit to you, right? Okay, now we will go for a, right, now we are going to check that selections, right? Selections, guys, you just click the tool. If you are going to check whether the tool have more option, then right click on it, right? Right click on it, then you can see the different tools over there, right? Now it's shows rectangular one, right? You just click and drag, then you can have the selection, right? Click and drag. So this point I click and then drag, like a Excel. So Excel, when we have a Excel, right, for the that formulas, right? You just hit it and then drag it, no? Same as here, same thing we are going to do, right? Right. So here I'm going to select with the ellipse tool, right? Elliptical macro tool. So just click and drag here, right? Now you can see the selections over here. Selections, you can move the selections by clicking into the selection, right? So when you have the selection, right, when you have the in outside, it's goes as it's say looks as a cross icon, right? It's cross icon. But when you get inside, it shows as a selective icon. So that icon can move this selection, but not outside, right? So also you can add the selection with the additional selection, right? நீங்க ஒரு செலக்ஷனோட இன்னொரு செலக்ஷன் ஆட் பண்ணி கொள்ளலாம். அதுக்கு தான் நீங்க இருக்கு ஆப்ஷன் பார்ல add selection, right? So just change the add selection and then you can add the selection, right? பாருங்க இப்ப செலக்ஷன்ஸ் வந்து ரெண்டும் add ஆயிட்டு, right? So இதே போல நாங்க இன்னொரு டூலை ஆட் பண்ணி கொள்ளலாம். We can add the any other tools also, right? So if you have the selection like this, right, you just hit it add, and then you can add, right? If you are going to add the elliptical, then you hit it add, and then you can add. Here you can see that original selection is rectangle one, and add the first one, I add the rectangle one, second one, I add ellipse one, right? Or else you are going to subtract. You are going to subtract the selection. You can subtract, right? You just go to the third one, and then you can minus your selection, right? Now it's subtract, right? Like this, right? You can subtract the selection, right? This guys, it will useful when you have these kind of problems when you have, right? Okay. So if you're going to remove this selection, you just simply click outside with the normal selection. Normal selection, click outside, it's definitely going to disappear. Or else you can hit the shortcut, right? With the shortcut, Control plus D. Note it down, guys. Control plus D, it's going to be deselect, right? Deselect, it's going to be Control plus D, right? And then these are the selections tools I'm going to cover. This one is lasso tools, right? Lasso tool, it's going to be a random one, right? Let's say I would like to select this one like this, right? So freehand tool is a lasso tool, right? And another tool is there, that is polygonal tool, right? Polygonal tool, we can polygonal lasso, we can check, we can select as a polygons, right? Let's say I want to make it as a quarter, right? Let's say quarter, right? A quarter or whatever things, whatever you want, you can make it as a straight lines, right? Likewise, you can select. When you finishing your selection, when you bring to the cursor on that, right? You can see, right? Cursor on that pointer on that, you may see that icon have polygon icon have a 0 on that, right? You can see, right? I don't know whether guys who are in phone with that, whether it's see or not. You just heard about this time, this one, and you tried in your computer. When you bring to a lasso tool, it automatically comes as a 0 within it, right? Besides, so when you hit selection, that only it will cover, or else, right? Or else, just going to, right? Here you have, and double click it, then it will connect those points, right? So this kind of selection tools we are dealing with. And also you can see this is the quick selection one, right? Quick selection, you just select with the easy selections, right? So if you are troubling with this selection, right, you have a controlling with the mouse, the different one, then you can just go that selection as well, right? So I will show you if it is let's say this photo, right? If it is this photo, just you can go with the selection, one color selection, you hit this as a magic wand tool, right? Now you can have the black color here, you just click over there, and then it will select as a black color only, and here also, that here also, right? Now you can have the black color only, right? So if you want to select the objects, you just hit on that, right? It will select the colors. If you want to change the attributes of this color, that tool, you can change the tolerance, right? This amount, you can reduce the amount to pick this color, right? You can just say, when I click it here, it selects all this area, right? So when you are going to reduce these things, right? So you just reduce the tolerance, right? When you have this amount of the changing, right, you can have the pointer like this, right? So when you bring your cursor is here, it's automatically going to be like this, right? So if it is moving like this, right, before this the digit and that option, you can have the cursor point, that point, right? It's like a double side arrow with the hand. That means you can just click and you can reduce this side and increase this side, right? Very simple, guys. You just go with this option, right? Whatever things, whatever, right? If it is, let's say, feather option here. So feather, you are going to increase, just going to be see this icon, and then right side move it's higher, left side move is low, right? So whatever keys, you have the same approach, right? So I just hit the magic wand tool and then I reduce the tolerance. Now when I click it, it's only select this kind of regions, that particular colors, right? So you can see this this is how that higher green and lower green as well, right? So when I need the higher green only, then I can reduce the tolerance, and then I hit here, then it's easily selected, right? So next one is quick selection. Quick selection is brush, like a brush. So when you have the brush, right, you can have the brush size, right? Just you click and select it. When you click, right, that's area only selected, right, like this, right? So if you are going to increase the brush size, right, that round, right, you can increase by pressing the square bracket, guys, right? So without any pressing any keys, that Control or Alt, without pressing, right, you just press it, that besides of the P key, yeah. உங்களோட P உங்களோட கீபோர்ட்ல வந்து P and key இருக்குதானே, OP, அந்த P-க்கு பக்கத்துல இருக்கிற கீஸ் பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஸ்கொயர் பிராக்கெட்ஸ் இருக்கு. அந்த ஸ்கொயர் பிராக்கெட்ஸ்ல நீங்க ரைட் சைட் ஸ்கொயர் பிராக்கெட் மாத்தினீங்கன்னு சொன்னா, right side square bracket, it's going to be a increasing the brush size, right? And left side is decreasing the brush size, right? Also another one option, right, நீங்க shift time all time press பண்ணீங்கன்னு சொன்னா, right, இப்ப நாங்க என்ன ஆப்ஷன்ல, இப்ப let's say shift alt press பண்ணிக்கொண்டு right, so select, right. இப்ப நீங்க just say I just go with the new selection, right? Normally new selection. If you want to change the add selection, right, if you want to change the add selection, right, you can just press by a shift key, right? When you press shift key, it's automatically change as a add selection, right? If you press in alt key, that's going to be a subtract selection, right? That is going to be subtract, right? So easy things, same as the MAQ tools also, right? You can see I have now making a new selection. I'm going to add the selection. For the adding, you just press the shift key, right? Just add it, right? If you want to subtract it, you just press the alt key, right? You can make it as like it, right? Okay, so this is one of the key tools. And another thing is crop tool, right? Crop tool is very important, guys. Crop tool, we can do the fixed ratio as well, right? So cropping, when you select the tool, it's automatically covers the image by corners, right? You can see the corners, right? When you hit inside, now it selects, right, this region. Now I am going to crop it little bit low, right, like this, right? If you want to change this size, so that size also, whatever side, you can crop it easily, right? I just adjust it. If you want to change the ratio one, you just go the ratio, and in the option bar you can just say the original ratio. The original ratio, it keeps with this image. So when you moving, right, that original image size, it should remain, right? Also you can move the image also, move the image into the cropped area, right? I just make it and then I going to hit enter, right? It will go into cropped, right? You can see, no? So this is the way we can crop, right? Okay. Now I am going to change the color pattern as well, right? So crop tool is okay. So now we are going to change the color pattern, color enhancement. Now it looks somewhat low colors. So that I just want to change, press that half black, half white back round is here, and click and set and click brightness and contrast. Right now you can see this is the additional layer which is created for the adjustment of this brightness and contrast, right? Brightness contrast செய்யறதுக்காக ஒரு லேயர் வந்து ஃபார்ம் பண்ணிருக்கு. இது என்ன, இதனால என்ன லாபம்னு கேட்டா, இதனால என்ன யூசேஜ் னு கேட்டா, it is protect our original image, right? So நீங்க இங்க வந்து எந்த அட்ஜஸ்ட்மென்ட்டையும் இங்க செய்து கொள்ள முடியும், ஆனா உங்களோட ஒரிஜினல் இமேஜ் அப்படியே இருக்கு, right? So original imageல இந்த கலரும் மாறாது. So when you are making your work, right? When you are working your work, that's going to be much high in the sense that you didn't match the original image and designed image. It's messy and it's looked too bad in the sense. Then you definitely you can delete that adjustments. So that's why I am here using this type of layer handling, right? So just you go the adjust the brightness little bit, or else you can depends on the Photoshop. You just hit it the auto, right? If it is tick the auto, then Photoshop automatically it will do the color adjustment. Now you can see the nice look of this image, right? So if you want to change, see the corrections, right? You just hit this button and that mask button right here, right? You just click and then fix it. It looks better view. If you want to change it, add more, right? Like that contrast is little more, and I want to reduce something in brightness, right? Okay. Now it looks nice than previous one. So this is one of the adjustment, right? So these are the works we can do. Also we can add another solid color also, right? You just give the solid color or color change, right? Let's say you have color like this, roof like this, right? So I am going to change this color, that's roof color, to another colors. So you can go with the hue and saturation, right? Hue and saturation, and then change the hue, right? You just see, right? You can just see, right? So that color is going to be changed in all over the images. If you want to change the color in particularly, right, you just go with the colors like reds, right? Only red's going to be changed, right? So you just see, right? Only red going to be changed. Easy things, right? You just go all the options and then you can make it. And now see, right, that when I disable this color correction, it's definitely the previous one it shows, right? And I remove the color correction also, it shows, right? Okay guys, this one as a beginner level, I just go through these things, right? And color picker also you should know. And these are the color picker and color slider. Oh, almost 9 o'clock, right? So okay, color picker, you just go to the color, whatever color you have, right? You can make it, right? So you just click on the foreground or background colors, right? Hit it here, and then you can change the color by moving this slider, right? You just move the slider and just click over here, right? If you want to go with a light color, then you can click this area. If you want to run a dark color, then you can have here, right? This reason. If you know the color code, guys, right? Color code, if you know, you can just type the color code, right? If let's say for a yellow, I just hit as a triple F, 000, right? So this one for the actual yellow, right? So these kind of codes, if you have the codes on that, then you can hit it and then you may get the color accurate in with the color code, right? So these are the basic operations for the color pickers. Then you can choose the colors as well here, right? And if you want to add the color for this image additionally, right, you just go with the select and solid color, right? You can add the solid color is here, right? Solid color, let's say I would like to check this color, right? So now you have the layer is here, right? I said about the opacity. When you reduce the opacity, right, it will tint the image to your background image, right? Now you can see that that in front of this image, it's act as a layer, right? Like a tint one, right? Now it's gives one color, right? So this kind of approach you can do for the photos, right? Okay, now I just enhance the color, and now for the advanced options I just go to the selections, right? Guys, almost 9 o'clock. I don't know, I thought about I'm going to do a logo creation and poster creation, but I didn't finish still in the basic operations. But almost it's 9 o'clock, right? What we'll do? Shall we do another workshop? But I don't know whether you are reaching or not. But if I continue, then if it is okay, then I continue, or else I will stop here and then we will do the second part on coming Friday. Okay, okay. So I will do a second part in later, guys, right? So that's better. That gives you a better understanding. Otherwise, it's going to be a yeah. Right. So I just sometimes I lost my time in some points, right? So I don't know. Right. So we'll wind up, guys. So if you have any doubts, you can just ask me, guys. Or else you can just type it in the chat box. I will share this presentation and supportive documents to your mail. Hope you all send the mail, right? If not, please send the mail, all the things, right? That later join us, please send your mail address. I will share you all the things, right? If you have any doubt, you just thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah. I will do later that second part. We will discuss those things, that logo creation, those things, right? So graphical abstracts works on that. That is better understanding. Otherwise, I don't know whether it's helpful or not. Someone hit it as helpful, and thanks for your valuable comments. Yeah, thank you so much. And okay, guys, if you have any doubts, thank you so much. If you have any doubt, just ask me, right? So better install the software right? If you have any problem with the software installing, just go with the you just check your computer configurations, right? And then you go to the lower version of that software, right? As I said, CS3 is best for that, right? Lower than CS3, it's not good. That is a very older version, but yeah, I will send all the things, that the links also into the mail. Right now, you all have the mail address here, no? So those mail IDs, I will share the links as well, right? And yeah, and one more things, guys. When you have that online lectures, online this Zoom class, right? Better you are facing that Zoom class, right? I am sure definitely I will send the recording, but when you are sitting that class only, you may get some ideas about it, right? Otherwise, when you are talking, when you are seeing that recording, it may getting how to say, getting tired on that, right? So you just swipe it the slider and then you just go right? Okay, right. Lot of mail address I received, guys. Please check your mail is whether it's correct or not, right? Otherwise it's bounced back me, right? Last time also, two or three mails I bounced back, right? Those people, so I don't know whether they are going to contact me or not. If they have here, right, you didn't receive that previous mails, right? Previous workshop recordings, right? You just mention and send me that mail address. My mail address is there, right? Or else I posted here too, right? Harchandra K at sign univ.jfn.ac.l, right? So this address you can share, guys. You can everyone. Yeah. Okay. Now you all receive my email address, right? Okay. Okay. Right. Thank you, guys. We will late join. Okay. 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 Please be on time. That Friday also same time, right? Same 7:30. Friday. Yeah. Friday 18, right? Okay. Okay. Friday or Saturday. Friday. I will send you the mail, right? What the date of that. I will check my convenience and then I will send it. Right. Okay, guys. I will wind up the session, right? Okay. Thank you and good night.